I mean, at the time, my dad was like seriously considering leaving my mom for probably the 8th time with this woman who worked for us. And I just saw it going on. And, I mentioned it to my dad and to my mom. And, I think I was probably 10 at the time. So they didn't really want to talk to me about it in any sort of intelligent way. It was sort of like I was pushed to the side. But years later, when I was probably in college, I tried to talk to my mom about all this stuff. But I'll tell you another good story about my dad, but I'll get my mom out of the way first. And I tried to talk to my mom, and I was like, Mom, I need to talk to you about what happened in our childhood. I mean, this is insane what you went through and what Dad did to you, and, how you let it happen and how that's affected me. And I want to talk to you about it. And she started crying. And she couldn't discuss it with me.
It's too hard.
It was too hard for her. And so we didn't talk about it. And then I think I tried again a couple years later, and she cried again. And, my poor mother, she just wasn't capable of it. So we never really got into it.
She didn't want to address it.
No.
She tried to just keep it like it wasn't real. She knew. She was smart. She knew.
She knew, but she just focused on other things.
And she stayed with him.
She stayed with him until when I moved to Los Angeles and I got my first big job and I made a lot of money. I went to my mother and I said, you need to get a divorce from this man.
You said that?
Yes. And I said, because I can't take it anymore. And she said, okay. And I paid for her divorce from my father.
Did he resent you for that?
No.
He knew that you kind of instigated that whole thing?
Yes. And so the thing with my dad was he would leave and come back, leave and come back, leave and come back. So I thought, well, that'll be it. He won't be able to come back to my mother anymore. You know what I mean? But years later, he tried to again. And I was like, you guys are divorced, so you're not coming back.
Did she take him back?
No, I told her not to. Like, I was the strongest voice in our family of, you need to put up a boundary. My dad was not a good guy. He was fun. He was a really fun guy, but he wasn't
a good husband.
Wasn't a good husband, really wasn't a good father. So on his deathbed, yeah, right?
Yeah. I like this.
I said, my kids were really little at the time, and I said to my friend Shanti, if you're listening, I said, oh my God, my dad is like in hospice and he's going to die. And what should I do? And she goes, Barbara, you get on that fucking plane and you go talk to that man and you say everything you ever wanted to say to him. And I'm like, and I started crumbling like my mom. No, I can't do it. She goes, you get on that fucking plane. You get a reservation tomorrow and you get on that plane and you go talk to him and you say everything you ever wanted to say to him that you have been, bottled up inside of you for years. And I went, and I know Shanti to be a very smart person. And she actually went through the same thing with her family. Like there was an issue in her family. So she did the same thing. And I said, and she knew my whole history. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it. So I got on a plane and I went to Pennsylvania, and he was living with that woman who worked for us, but he was not living with her because he was in hospice. And they had a son, and, I saw him for a minute. He's fine, whatever. I don't have any grudges against him. No. And so I went and talked to my dad, and he was like, oh, so happy I was there and everything. And I said, I just want to let you know that I'm here to see you, but I'm also here for a selfish reason because I have some things that I want to say to you.
What was his reaction, right? When he knew it was coming, didn't he? Or did he not?
No, my father, I think, was really a narcissist because he went, oh, yeah, what is it? And I said, well, I'm really angry at you for like leaving, come back. All the time when you weren't with us, you weren't even supporting us. We had no money from you. And you kept, just having affairs and coming back to, my mother. And
were you crying?
I'm sure I was at the time. Yeah. And I said, I have a lot of anger towards you. And I think it's really affected my relationships with men in my life and just, my family relationships and you. And I have a lot of anger. And I just feel like you weren't there for me. And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. I was there for you. I did everything that I could for you.
Oh
And
my
I don't know where
God.
this is coming from. And I don't know where you get off saying this to me.
Complete narcissist.
And
Complete.
and you know what though, Michael? In that moment, I was released because I had an epiphany, because there was so many times that he wasn't around for like a year period, 6 months, 2 years, that I went, you know what? I'm glad you weren't in my life because you're a bad person.
Did you say that?
I don't think I said that, but I thought it. I was like, because you weren't there and because you are such a bad person, I think that the influence of you isn't as present in my system as it would have been had you been in the house all the time and acting like a jerk, acting like the jerk that you are. My mother was, a lovely, sweet, dear, dear person. So I think I hope my energy is more like her, not like deceitful like my dad. But I had the epiphany, and I'm so glad my girlfriend said to me, go talk to your dad. Because then I really felt released from him. When he said that to me, I was so honest with him, and he was so honest from his own truth with me that I went, yeah, you're a fucking bad guy.
That's intense.
Yeah.
Did you, when you left, was there like, all right, I love you, Dad?
No.
You just kind of were, you were almost, it was sort of out of body, sort of like, I can move on now.
I can move on. And I think
that's awesome.
And probably from that conversation, I learned that you have to be honest and speak your truth with somebody.
Yeah.
And
no matter what.
And it's okay what they say, because it's not about you.
It's okay if what they say isn't what you want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yes.
Because
that's well put. Yes.
I have relationships where I'll never get what I want.
Yeah.
Which is so simple, which is so easy, that I would think that why can't you just sort of acknowledge what I experienced?
Yeah, but it wasn't from his truth. He couldn't really acknowledge it because from his truth, it was something else. And all you can do is speak your own truth. And however people treat you is not your fault, or it's not because of you, it's because of them. And, it's part of that Zen Buddhism. If anybody studied that or know about that, it's like non-attachment to outcomes or to what other people say about you or feel about you. The only thing you have is what's in your own heart and your own truth.